One.
Hey everyone, Chris with Due Diligence Investors. So today we're looking at ticker symbol DRUS, Drone USA Incorporated. Looks like they had a pretty big day today, trading volume of 194 million shares, high of the day of 0.0148, low of 0.0075, and a close of 0.0146. And it looks like the chart looks like they've been going down for quite a while. I had a big day there, followed by a little higher trading, and then fell back down and it's been falling and got a little bounce there. And then today had a start to another uptrend. We're gonna do kind of a quick run through of all the due diligence here. There's a lot of stuff to go through on this one. Let's see here. So we're going to start with the security details. The authorized shares are currently 1.5 billion. They just got increased to 1.5 billion from 200 million shares on May 8th, 2018, so just a couple months ago. That's not a great thing. The reason why they did that, they had a letter to the shareholders here. It comes up here. Letter to shareholders. Dear shareholders, we have decided to make a change. We are much more than a drone company. Today we filed with SEC a Schedule 14C to change our company name and increase the number of authorized shares, and we'll be filing with FINRA to change our symbol. Our new corporate name will be Bantech Incorporated. Under the Bantech name, we will create 3 divisions: distributing, aerospace, environmental remediation, energy savings. So one thing I don't like is changing the name to Bantech Incorporated when their company is known. They have a lot of contracts with the government, and they're working with police agencies throughout the East Coast, trying to sell their drones to the police. And changing the name from Drone USA to Bantech will likely lose them a few contracts that they're going to be bidding on under the Bantech name, because the government agencies are used to seeing the Drone USA name. That's just in my opinion, but obviously increasing the shares from 200 million to 1.5 billion isn't a great thing either. Going back to the security details, outstanding shares through 397 million. It's updated regularly. Their OTCQB rated, which is a higher tier rating. Float of 74 million, which is really good. And let's see here. I'm going to keep trying to move through here fairly quickly so don't spend more than 10 minutes on this. Just running through the financials. They had a huge jump in revenue, just over $1 million in 2016 to over 24 million in 2017, and that's likely to grow in 2018. And you'll see the reason why is because their acquisition of Halco Distributing, which has just had tremendous growth ever since they acquired it. You can see they filed their Form 1012G to file with SEC on May 8th, 2017. They've been filing with SEC ever since. July 17th, 2017, they filed the Form 3, which is the initial beneficial ownership of the directors. You can go through all these 8Ks. Form 4s are acquiring more shares. Pre-14C, that's where they announced that they were increasing the authorized shares definitive 14C. That's where it took effect. 8Ks just in filing with the SEC on the news that they announced. Here's a Form 4, or no, this is the Form 3, Initial Statement of Beneficial Ownership of Securities. The CEO, Michael Bannon, initially had 38.3 million shares roughly. Direct ownership, 250 shares of Series A preferred stock. I'm just going to start closing these out as I go through them. So here's where we start with the news here. In February of 2016, the Texas Wyoming Drilling Incorporated enters into equity exchange with DRUS USA. So here's the press release here. You can read through it. We're not gonna, if we have time after we go through all these, we'll read through that. And then there's a lot more press releases than what I'm going to read through or go through, but we'll go look through them here. So they announced name change, symbol change, and reverse stock split to get the shares, authorized shares, down when they initially acquire the company, or merge rather. Signs joint venture agreement with BR Vant Technologic Solutions. That's where Dr. Kuntz, I believe his last name is, came from, their new chief technology officer. He is also on the board of directors, which they announced later on. Letter of intent to acquire West Coast premium supplier, that is the Halco Distributing. And up here, they announce they complete the acquisition of Premier Distributor, which is the Halco Distributing. And we'll go through that right here. The terms of the completes acquisition of Premier Distributor. Submitted a letter of intent to acquire Halco and entered into a stock purchase agreement on August 4th, 2016 to acquire Halco. Let's scroll through here. The company's investment in Halco is a continuation of Drone USA's targeted acquisition strategy that involves the acquisition of profitable businesses led by experienced management teams that have well-established operating plans. As a part of the transaction, former owners Paul and Kathy Joy have entered into employment agreements with Drone USA to continue to oversee Halco's day-to-day operations. That is until they hired Matthew, which we will go into in a little bit. Matthew ended up becoming the general manager of the company and taking over operations duties, and he'd been growing the company ever since. Halco reported annual sales of $23.4 million and earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization of approximately $1.78 million. Talks about how great Halco is, and they do seem to be a great distributing company. Let's see here. The company purchased Halco for $3.5 million using a combination of $2.6 million in cash, a promissory note for $900,000, and the issuance of 5-year warrants to the Halco shareholders to purchase 500,000 shares of Drone USA's common stock at an exercise price of 0.011 cent per share. So that, read through the whole press release there. That's a great acquisition, in my opinion. Drone USA announces a strategic partnership with NASA X-Plane prime contractor Empirical Systems Aerospace Incorporated. And we're going to skip through part of this. Empirical Systems Aerospace is best known for their work on the NASA Scepter X-57 Maxwell X-Plane contract, a 3,000-pound electric flight demonstrator and NASA's first manned experimental rocket in approximately 30 years. Pursuant to the agreement, the company will share facility space in California